All right, hi everyone. My name is Esishe. Today we're joined by Nontsikelelo Makaula. Please introduce yourself, ma'am. Who are you? Where do you come from? What do you do?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Nontsikelelo Makaula and I come from the NYDA. I'm responsible for operations as the executive director, which means I connect young people to opportunities across provinces. We implement the products and services of the NYDA at my level.
Okay. All right. So as we briefly covered before we started, you said we youth and Dala, right?
Yeah.
As a youth and Dala, you have appreciation of pre-1994 and post-1994. So as someone who's lived through seeing the democratic dispensation, what are your thoughts on 1976? What are your thoughts on the Youth Day, especially when we're having celebrations like this?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. And I think the significance of today's theme speaks to the past 50 years, really, saying that we're resetting at 50. A country, we all know that we are fighting unemployment. We all know that young people, unfortunately, have challenges that relate to social ills, mental health issues, the health system. There's quite a lot that there are, but there is no unity towards fighting all of those challenges. And I think as I reflect, there's only one thing that is missing is young people having a united voice towards the resolution of the unemployment crisis that we're facing as a country.
All right. So as a person who comes from the NYDA, please speak to us a little bit about the services that the NYDA offers, particularly as you touched on unemployment as being one of the biggest struggles that young people are faced with. How is the NYDA positioned to help young people, and how do young people then access the NYDA in order to get help from the NYDA?
Thank you very much. A lot of people do not know the young people, and those who know of the NYDA think that the NYDA is a big-it-all organization. But the NYDA really connects young people to opportunities across government, across all sectors of society. And how we do that in the main through the NYDA within our mandate, we've got economic opportunities through our grant program, which is the non-financial and financial services that we offer for entrepreneurship. That is strategically positioned as one of the key direct solutions towards dealing with unemployment in this country. How we do that is by making sure that when a young person applies for a grant through our portal, they can register through our portal and apply for a grant, which is up from between 1,000 and 250,000, depending on where they are in terms of their business. They would then qualify, for that particular grant. We don't end there. We continue to mentor them and offer them support post the funding. That means that we do not just fund a young entrepreneur and leave them. There is support that is provided in terms of business development support services. But for those young people who do not want to start their own business or do not have the capacity to do that, we connect them to job opportunities through our jobs program that is connected to the SA Youth MOBI through the network that we have with the Department of Labor. We also obviously recently launched one of the biggest programs, I think in the continent, if I can say so, the National Youth Service Program, which is currently recruiting over 100,000 young people to be in service. What that means is that we're giving an opportunity for young people to serve, learn and earn. So they will earn a stipend of about 1,500, serving just 16 hours minimum a week. Hours per week. That means they'll be engaged for 16 hours per week whilst also being, making themselves available for training opportunities and other opportunities in the communities where they come from. So in the main, those three pillars for the NYDA are very important: service, job creation, and then entrepreneurship opportunities. Of course, we do not just do that, through online. We have direct contact with young people through our branches, 41 centers across the country, so young people have an opportunity to walk in at NYDA and interact with us. Of course, if a young person wants to apply, this is the biggest question. How do I go about it? Starting with the National Youth Service Program, because right now it's the buzzword and it's what young people are looking forward to. There is the SA Youth Mobi platform, which is free. So there's no need for data. It's data free. They will just download the application, register their profile on SA Youth Mobi, and then they will see the opportunities being listed by over 36 partners that we have that are implementing this program for us. For the NYDA products and services, of course, they can go through our portal, as I said, at www.nyda.gov.za. If they've got any questions, of course, they can call through our call center at 0800 84 84 84.
All right. Thank you for that. That was actually very illuminating. You've spoken quite a lot about how the NYDA offers opportunities around employment, entrepreneurship, and skills development. But I want to ask a question, because the NYDA, for people who don't know, in fact, what it is, it's the National Youth Development Agency.
Yes.
What other facets of youth development is the NYDA looking into? Because, for example, a large problem with the unemployment that young people are facing is also a mental health crisis. There's a very deep mental health crisis associated with being unemployed, especially when you've done all the things that should make you employable, right? You've gone to school, you've gotten your matric, you've gotten your degree, but the opportunities are just not availing themselves. So are there services, if any, that the NYDA offers where that can support, like help develop young people comprehensively outside of just the skills development and entrepreneurship and employment incubation, just for them to be able to, even at the point at which they enter the job market, they enter as a holistic, employee or yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I think let me start by talking about the integrated youth development strategy as one of our strategic pillars at the NYDA. What this does is that it links us to various departments, social development being at the center of what you're speaking about right now. So you would understand that social development is a custodian of programs that are meant to take care of a person holistically, mind, body, and soul. I would put it like that. That becomes crucial for the NYDA to facilitate those opportunities for young people. So we've got a program called the NYDA NPO Incubator Program. Every year we enroll about 90 NPOs. The spread of these NPOs include those NPOs that are dealing with drug and substance abuse, and mental health issues. What is lovely about this is that these NPOs are present in almost all the communities across the country, and they're able to connect, with young people there, directly. And that's just one. And then secondly, for the NYDA directly now, as part of our training programs, for every young person that enters through our doors, we have a program called Life Skills. Yes, some people might say, it's similar to life orientation and it's similar to other programs, but Life Skills is different in a way that it first speaks to a young person understanding who they are. Yes, you've got challenges at home. Yes, you might be coming from a child-headed household. You've got responsibilities. How am I going to attend a job interview when I'm still looking after my baby sister who needs, my attention? How do you navigate life in general? How do you deal with sexual reproductive health issues? And we connect you to the correct people to help you with that. We might not have all the solutions. The module just opens, gives a young person a bird's view in terms of this is life and how do you navigate this life. And these are the people that you can connect with to assist you to navigate this life. So that's our Life Skills program. So that when the young person then applies for the grant program, they are ready. When they apply for an IDC program, let's say they don't want to, get our services from the NYDA, they can still go to SIFTA, they can still go to other opportunities that are available. So our soft skills programs assist in that. So it's not just the life skills. Most young people will then couple life skills with, your job prep, job preparedness, preparing them for a job. Because it's not easy taking an interview, guys. Yeah.
Okay, closing remarks.
Yeah.
Again, touching base on doing youth and Dala. I think you are, as a young person in the NYDA, you are in a key position to understand the problems that young people are facing. Because I think a lot of frustration that young people have is that people in leadership are too old. They don't understand. They don't know what we're going through. Of which the NYDA having such a young person in such a key position, I think, is important. So what are your closing remarks? Again, I'm noting the theme for today being resetting at 50. Moving forward, what do you want young people to take moving forward, encapsulating what the NYDA offers them, and just your thoughts as well of what we should be focusing on as young people moving forward?
Okay, firstly, I think as we reset, the most important thing for young people is to just acknowledge that the agility that we're looking for will not come to the young people. Agility should be prompted. Okay. It means young people should go out and look for the opportunities. NYDA has launched what we call Panda Thursdays. What that means is that we're motivating young people on Thursdays to go out and look for opportunities. Go and knock at that. It's your birthright as a South African young person to go and ask, what is government doing? How can I be of help as a young person? And hold each and every person that says that they are implementing any program of young people accountable. And I think that's the unity that we need from young people. Agility will not come, when you're seated at home. It needs to be prompted.
All right. Thank you so much, Nontsikelelo Makaula. That was brilliant. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much for having me.